Thank you, Dan. Good evening once again. West Brom remain in the curious position of enjoying an excellent start to the season, but still creating doubts in the minds of supporters of those elsewhere about the start of play and the long-term prospects for a team wedded to a system which had the boos ringing around the Hawthorns in the previous home game before a late flurry won the game against Queen's Park Rangers. In fairness to Valérien Ismaël, results will decide if he's considered a success, but the reaction when they did finally lose a league game at Stoke suggests he doesn't have too much credit in the bank with some Baggies fans. Birmingham supporters have lower expectations, but 1 point in 5 games, including a 3-0 home defeat to lowly Nottingham Forest, has deflated their early season optimism. The transformation from solid to sloppy has been a rapid one, and both sides make changes following defeats before the international break. 2 for West Bromwich Albion. Matt Clark on loan from Brighton comes back into the back 3. Adam Reach is the player who drops out, so Connor Townsend will move to the wide area as a wing-back. Jordan Hugill also plays on the bench at the start, so Matt Phillips comes into the side. It is Johnston in goal, Ajayi, Barkley and Clark the back 3, Furlong, Livermore, Mowat and Townsend in midfield. 3 in attack, Robinson, Grant and Phillips. For Birmingham, significant changes made by Lee Bowyer following their 3-0 defeat to Forest. Dean, Woods and Baylor are the 3 players who go out. The players who come in are Sanderson, Gardner and Hogan. The Birmingham side, Sarkic in goal, Roberts, Sanderson and Pedersen their back 3, Collan and Friend the wing backs. It'll be Gardner and Sunic holding in midfield, with Chong behind Hogan and Jutkiewicz. West Bromwich Albion in their home strip, the broad dark blue band on a white shirt with white shorts and dark blue socks. Birmingham in their second strip, yellow shirts, blue shorts and white socks. It is a massive weekend of local derbies across the Championship. Tomorrow we are in West London. On Sunday it is South Wales. But here tonight at the Hawthorns, following the international break, the football weekend gets underway once again across the TalkSport network here on the home of the EFL, between 2 old West Midlands rivals, West Bromwich Albion and Birmingham City. And very quickly, Sam Johnston, the England goalkeeper, clears long downfield for West Brom, looking for Furlong on this near side, but his first touch was heavy, and it's gathered by Matthias Sarkic at the other end. And very quickly, West Brom get the ball forward very quickly.
Yes, Matt Phillips there, just a little touch on, little flick on, and let's say Furlong always gambling, very unlucky, because his touch, I thought he just took it inside and on his front foot into the box there, but couldn't get on the end of the touch.
West Brom lost for the first time this season against Stoke in their previous game, live on TalkSport 2. Birmingham beaten in 4 of their previous 5 games without scoring from open play. Pedersen plays it forward now, looking for Chong, who looked to be offside, and the flag was raised, and it will be a free kick for West Brom on this near side. It is a dry, clear, still night in the Black Country, and a big crowd inside the Hawthorns. Over 24,000 tickets sold for this game. The Birmingham fans in good voice in the Halford Road end, away to our right hand side. Johnston plays it forward long again, looking for Furlong, who managed to beat Pedersen in the air, but it's quickly cleared by Birmingham. Now Townsend on the far side, who has spent much of the season deputising for the injured Dara O'Shea in the back 3, but playing in a more familiar role in the wide area tonight, as Birmingham win a free kick 15 yards inside their own half. And talking of defenders, Chris, it is a huge night for a player without a huge amount of first team action behind him for Birmingham, Theon Sanderson.
Yeah, well, I know him well, from the Wolves academy. I think thought very, very highly of. I think he's a good player, technically got it all. I think that physicality, I think these games will do him so well. The potential's definitely there, but he has to take these opportunities, Nigel.
Carl Bartley, the only central defender for West Brom to start all of their league games so far this season, and he's also won the most aerial duels in the Championship so far. West Brom have been very good defensively in that department. They've conceded only one header so far this season and only a single goal from a cross. It's gathered by Matija Sarkic, the Montenegro international, wearing all orange, defending the Birmingham goal away to our right hand side. A long clearance downfield from him, heading towards the corner flag. Djukovic does well to keep the ball in play and avoid the goal kick. It's back towards Chong, but his ball in field is quickly cut out, and Johnston, with a rather lazy 9-9 of a left foot, clears the ball wide on the far side, but he got good distance, and West Brom will now try and build. But Grant's ball towards this near side just forced Furlong to check his run forward, but he manages to keep the ball in play. And now Mowat plays it wide to the far side, and Townsend. Robinson in support following his 5 goals for the Republic of Ireland during the international break. It's played low towards Grant inside the area, who stumbles following the challenge from Sanderson, but it's quickly won back by Ajayi, and already West Brom are compressing the space for Birmingham when they attack. It's fired towards the penalty area from wide on the left hand side from Robinson. And now Townsend again with an opportunity to cross low into the penalty area, and there was not a single West Brom player inside the box when that ball bounced on the edge of the 6-yard line.
Well, Nigel, you're looking at Townsend's body language there. As soon as he's done fantastic well, he's driving, he's direct, he's at the point, the left-hand point of the 18-yard box, puts it in. That's positive what he put on it to get in the 18-yard box. You know, he's put his hands up, it's a fantastic ball in as well.
4 minutes played on TalkSport 2. West Brom 0, Birmingham 0 at the Hawthorns. West Brom can go back on top of the table with a victory here tonight, starting 3 points behind AFC Bournemouth, who are now the only unbeaten side left in the Championship. But West Brom do have a better goal difference. Coventry 3rd, Stoke 4th, and then Fulham and Queen's Park Rangers making up the top 6. And of course, they meet at Craven Cottage tomorrow, live on TalkSport 2 at 12:30, which will be followed by Southampton against Leeds from the Premier League. Over on TalkSport, Game Day has Watford against Liverpool at 12:30. Game Day live from the King Power Stadium when Leicester play Manchester United, and then Brentford against Chelsea. Another West London derby is on TalkSport at 5:30, and we conclude the football weekend. Myself and Chris will be at the Swansea.com Stadium on Sunday as Robinson plays a high ball into the penalty area, but he was just crowded out as he looked to fasten onto the ball to fire it towards goal. It was cleared away by Roberts, and it will be a throw-in to West Bromwich Albion on this near side. And a member of Valerian Ismail's backroom team just wandered into the Birmingham technical area to field the ball there and leads out in the fourth official saying, get back into your area.
Nah, you're just on that one there. Merck puts a great ball in behind, Robinson's onto it. You know, you're looking at Sarkic, who's already committed, he's come out. It's on just, even with the back to goal, just lob it, you know where the goal is. I'm surprised that in the form, the confidence, that Robinson hasn't taken that opportunity on.
Now Bartley just beneath us here on this near side, the West Brom right, infield to Livermore, who was challenged by Sunic. Bartley now with a long high diagonal ball, and he's picked out Townsend, heads it into the area looking for Grant. It's controlled and cleared on the edge of the penalty area by Gardner. There were appeals there for handball, mainly from the West Bromwich Albion fans on the far side. Chong tries to bring it forward over the halfway line, but he's challenged by Townsend, and it will be a throw-in to Birmingham on the far side. And with 6 minutes played, Chris Owellamo, typically in a local derby, it is a very frenetic start.
Yeah, it is, you know, to be expected. What I will say, Nigel, I think Chong, he's had a couple of opportunities there, much better from him. He's on the ball, he's driving forward, he gets a throw-in right on the halfway line. Before that, the ball came in, but I'm expecting him just to take it down and slow it down and play at his pace. He just...
Now Hogan chasing a long ball forward. Johnston outside his penalty area just pokes the ball away on the far side, but Hogan there had the legs on Ajayi as he burst into the area, but Johnston out very quickly to make the clearance.
Well, I think Hogan can do better there. I think it's West Brom, it's a very high defensive line, one straight ball over the top. He definitely had the legs on Ajayi. Sam Johnson comes out, but I'm sitting thinking that's a 50-50 ball. You've got to at least go. He's kind of pulled out. You've got to be brave, in my opinion there. Go through the ball and the goalkeeper on that. Yeah, you know, it's one of them. It's there to be won. it's a 50-50 ball. You make sure you make contact with the ball there.
Long throw will be hurled into the area here from Roberts. Great distance into the 6-yard area, but rising unchallenged to clear was Bartley. It's nodded in field towards Chong. Chong, though, was quickly challenged by Phillips, but the Manchester United youngster wins it back, and here is Djukovic, the Birmingham captain tonight, on this near side. Harley Dean dropped to the bench. Sunic with the ball forward to find Djukovic. Has support from Pedersen, but in the end, Birmingham are forced back to the halfway line, and it will be played long and high by Friend towards the area, and Chong, I think, maybe thought he was offside and didn't really challenge for it, and it's gathered by Johnston again. 8 minutes played, 0-0 here at the Hawthorns on TalkSport 2, and it's a massive weekend of sport coming up. Also on Sunday, following Cardiff against Swansea, we will have NFL action live from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The Miami Dolphins against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Another local derby of sorts. Now Gardner, back towards Sanderson. Long and high hanging ball from him. Chong will try and make the run beyond the strikers once again, and Clark has been isolated on the far side, but he clears. It was deflected off Chong, and it will be a throw into West Brom, taken very quickly by Townsend, headed back in field by Robinson, and now Robinson will chase the ball down the line from Grant, but Sanderson does well to recover and play it back towards Sarkic, who clears long downfield.
Yeah, fantastic defensive play as well. He was aware it was already going, and Sanderson, he just opened up there, got to the ball comfortably. Goes back to the goalkeeper. I have to say, Birmingham using the ball well. You know, they are going down the sides with a little bit of quality. They've always got three, asking that question of the West Brom back three. But like you say, I think in the middle of the pitch, you know, Gardner, Sunic, they are using the ball well. You know, options, they recycling it. It can go back to both wing backs, and then if it's on to go forward, it goes forward with quality.
Well, Birmingham made a very good start to the season, but they've dropped from 7th to 16th in this recent slump, and it's the games without a goal which will really concern Lee Bowyer. They've been a side who have often lived off narrow victories since he arrived at the club, but a leaky defence and a team which has not been scoring at all has really caused them problems, as Clark does well to find Townsend on the far side. A high cross into the area. It's scooped up into the air by Pedersen. Sunic missing the header, nodded down by Livermore inside the Birmingham area before Pedersen will eventually clear up towards the halfway line. Now Ajay pings another ball wide to the left-hand side, looking for Townsend, and it's nodded away by Collant, and it will be a throw-in to West Brom again. Midway inside the Birmingham half on the far side, the West Brom left. 10 minutes played at the Hawthorns. West Brom 0, Birmingham 0, and Birmingham have not won in the 7 previous meetings between these two sides, and that's their worst run in this fixture since 1989. Lucas Djukovic is just having some treatment. It seems to be on his right hand, which was possibly caught in an aerial duel a few moments ago, and he's having words with Jeremy Simpson, the referee, about one or two things which are going on.
I think just in that kind of melee there, I've got to say, when the balls come in from the wide area, George Friend's in a fantastic position. He has to go and put the head on that, but he lets it go, and it's Pedersen that's having to kind of get his foot around it and steer it away, so they never really cleared the danger. Jukovic, somehow he's found himself at the edge of the box, and I think it's just a push in the back that he's fallen in. He's saying to the referee that there was definitely a push either on him or one of the players. I think it was maybe Sunic at the edge of the area when he's up and won that header there.
But it's a throw-in for West Brom, midway inside the Birmingham half on the far side, and it's thrown short to the balding Matt Clark. Now there is space and time for Bartley to bring the ball forward. Infield towards Mowat as Djukovic is waved back onto the field by the referee. Phillips looking to turn away from Friend, and Phillips has done well to maintain possession, had Robinson ahead of it. Now it's wide towards Livermore. Infield again to Phillips in the number 10 position on the edge of the area, but his ball wide to this near side, the right, is cut out by Pedersen. And Djukovic, who has now swapped his shirt for one without a name or a number, will just lose out on the halfway line. Callum Robinson challenged by Friend on this near side for Birmingham, who then sways away from the challenger Furlong, plays a long ball downfield. Bartley heads it infield, only finds Chong, but Bartley quickly snaps into the challenge to Rob Chong, and Gardner plays it wide for Birmingham to Collan, down the right in towards Chong again. Clever use of the ball to play it into the right wing position to evade Clark. Now needs some support, has it from Collan. Collan will think about delivering the cross, but in the end plays it off Townsend, and it will be a throw into Birmingham on the far side, and another opportunity for Mark Roberts to wing in one of those long throws. And only Cardiff have scored more headers than Birmingham in the Championship since the start of last season.
I've got to say, I thought the build-up play was good. Birmingham wanted it more, winning those second balls, keeping it alive. Chong, fantastic touch to take it into the wide area. I'm sitting thinking one thing, crosses coming in. As soon as you just open your body up, they've got two bodies, Hogan and Jukovic in there. Can that cross come in? Put a blind cross in, you know the bodies are in there. Maybe too many touches in that wide area.
Roberts with another long throw, and it's Hogan who goes for the acrobatic overhead kick on the edge of the 6-yard area. Doesn't make contact. Clark will clear away on this near side, and Chong will tidy up for Birmingham all the way back to Sarkic, who launches it long downfield again onto the head of Clark, who heads it up to the halfway line, flicked on by Phillips into the path of Sanderson for Birmingham. Now Pedersen clips it down the line, left hand side, looking for Hogan. Ajayi gets there first. Hogan straining every sinew to win it back, but Ajayi is able to clear. It's headed in field by Pedersen. Mowat with the ball forward for West Brom, and now Furlong finding Robinson, who has gone down, clutching the back of his head, but West Brom will be keen to play on because Townsend is racing forward, and he fires to goal, and it's an excellent save by Sarkic. Townsend was given the space and time, and he let fly from the angle 25 yards out, and Sarkic making an excellent save to tip the ball over the crossbar.
It's fantastic from Townsend, just opened up in front of him, he's driving forward. He obviously knows he's got that in the artillery. He's taking a shot from distance. It's a great save from Sarkic. He had to get a hand on it. Great power, great accuracy. It's going in just under the crossbar there if he doesn't get a touch. But I've got to say, I think Birmingham, real high press, great energy in the middle, and West Brom showed the quality there with one touch passing to get it out to Townsend on that left hand side.
West Brom have 8 goals from set pieces so far this season, and Furlong has gone all the way across to the left-hand side to pick up the ball, and he'll now run the full width of the pitch from left to right to take the corner for West Brom. Where are the ball boys?
I'm expecting something good here then. If he's
must be his lucky ball or something. Well, Furlong has been a real source of goals for West Brom so far this season, but mainly from long throws. It's a corner which is low and flicked onto the near post by Mowat, looking for Robinson. Hogan then looks to win it back, and he's been caught on the halfway line, but Birmingham will play on because Chong now has the opportunity to burst into the penalty area. Suvic in support. Chong looks to play the cross, and he's challenged by Townsend, and it will be a corner. But Birmingham there with a lightning breakaway. Hogan was the player who was initially fouled, but it was Chong who took control and almost went all the way.
Well, fantastic refereeing, you know, he gave it that 5 seconds. Ball came to Chong, you know, 1-on-1 with Townsend. Fantastic, he had the legs on him, but I've got to say, great defending from Townsend. Very timely challenging. He had to make the challenge, but to get the ball the way that he did, fantastic defensive play, but I'm having Chong all day.
Chong will take the corner, and in swinger, looking for Roberts. It's allowed to bounce inside the area. Pedersen fires it into the crowd, and it's blocked on the edge of the 6-yard area, and West Brom clear, and that shot from Pedersen was travelling goalwards at some velocity.
Well, it's fantastic, he's onto it there, Pedersen. I think it's come off his own man as well, you know. Gardner.
Well, West Brom were fortunate there, because had that gone through, I don't think Johnston would have seen it. Now Sarkic, outside his penalty area, in the left-back area, clears downfield, headed in field by Livermore, helped on towards Grant, who scored twice the last time we were here on TalkSport 2 on a Friday night with that late comeback win against Queen's Park Rangers. And during that game, Chris, I know you weren't here with us, but they were booing the West Brom crowd for long spells. Of course, they all left happy because they won, but it does feel tonight that there may be more behind the team from the start of the game.
It's important, you know. I think West Brom have started well, and that gets the fans quickly on board, you know. But if Birmingham can upset that, and like you say, get a couple of boos, that filters onto the pitch, and then it tests the character of the players as well. So, you know, Lee Bowyer, you know, the way that he's set up, the way that the players at the minute are trying to win every second ball, having that desire, that intensity without the ball. I think trying to put as much pressure, but at the minute West Brom have had the quality to play through that press.
But Birmingham, 4 games without a goal, are showing some signs of promise here, and they have another long throw which Mark Roberts will take on the far side, their third inside the opening 18 minutes. Roberts again with a low flat delivery, looking for Djukovic, headed away by Bartley, flicked out wide towards Roberts again, who lofts in a cross, but everybody had come out for offside, and it was a poor delivery anyway, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think just keep the pressure on there. As soon as the ball comes to Roberts, I know what he's thinking, you know, he's under a little bit of pressure, he has to put it in first time. Just be brave, get the ball under control, either win a throw in, take your man on, because you're in that 1-on-1 scenario in that right channel, and then just create that yard. You don't have to beat the man to get the cross in.
Now Pedersen heads away on this near side. It's gathered by Mowat. Back to Ajayi down the channel on the right, looking for Furlong, but Pedersen comes in to make the challenge. He's then robbed though by Phillips, who can attack the penalty area. Friend is backpedaling. The cross from Phillips is deflected by Friend, loops into the air. It's volley cleared by Gardner, and then Djukovic is fouled by Clark, and it will be a free kick to Birmingham just inside their own half.
It's fantastic play from Djukovic there. He can't do anything else. He's on his own. He just makes sure Clark's not coming through. The ball's bounced 2 or 3 times before it came into his chest. He stays strong, and like you say, Clark is just trying to get the ball. It's coming over the top of the man. It's a free kick, but that's exactly what Birmingham needed at that moment.
Roberts with a long ball forward again for Birmingham. Hogan gathers on the left, finding Pedersen, hanging cross into the area. Chong was the nearest player to it, and he's lacking inches, and as a result it's gathered by Johnston, who looks for the early release wide on the far side for Carlin Grant, but it's straight out of play, and it will be a throw-in to Birmingham. And Chris, you saw the game West Brom at Stoke, and it just seemed that Stoke completely negated Alex Mowat. And of course he got injured in the game anyway, but he was very ineffective. And do you think he gave other teams food for thought? Because on his day, he's one of the best players in the Championship, but Stoke just basically took him out of the game.
Well, that's a battle, isn't it? You think about it, he was second best on the day. If you do nullify Mowat, then it's definitely one of the main dynamics of West Brom. It stops him from playing. You know, Jake Livermore comfortable on it, not got the legs anymore. Mowat can get forward, scores goals, you know, but he can see a pass and execute it. If you take him out of it, and like you say, the way that they're fighting for everything in the middle of the pitch tonight, Birmingham, you know, it takes a lot out the body, but they have.
Here is Djukovic with a long-range shot, almost catching Johnston out. He saw it on the bounce in the end, the West Brom goalkeeper, and gathered by the foot of his post.
It's a difficult one to take that for Sam Johnston there. You know, I think he's good hands. He never really struck it with the power he wanted to, Djukovic, but he still made good contact, and that bounce right in front of Sam Johnston would have been a difficult one, but comfortable, made it look comfortable.
Well, Mowat had his fewest touches so far this season in the defeat against Stoke. He was also taken off injured in that game, and at the moment Birmingham do seem to be trying to get players around him whenever he's on the ball, and as a result he's finding it difficult to really influence the game, as Furlong was bowled over by Pedersen on this near side, and it will be a free kick to West Brom. 21 minutes played here on TalkSport 2. It is West Brom 0, Birmingham 0 at the Hawthorns. Birmingham have not gone 5 games without a goal since November of 2005, but Lee Bowyer's side have shown early signs of promise here against a West Brom team looking to bounce back from their first league defeat of the season.
Well, Nigel, Lee Bowyer's just come up on our monitors there, and he's got a little smirk on his face, because I think Valerian Ismail's going absolutely mad beside him. So I think his players are doing exactly what they've asked, you know, get in the face, not allowing them to play, putting pressure on every single touch. There, Sam Johnson, Jukovic, pressing, kicks it out of play, gets you back possession of the ball.
And we saw this for long spells in the game against Queen's Park Rangers when, of course, Rangers scored in the opening minute, and it took West Brom a long time in that game to really get to grips with the occasion, and they were helped out by a goalkeeping error when they did. Sanderson hooks the ball away for Birmingham towards the far side, and Townsend will play it back towards Sam Johnston. The rarity these days of an England international from the Championship during the recent international break. Now Clark, 10 yards inside the West Brom half on the far side, and he's delaying on the ball because there is very little movement ahead of him, so it's swung wide and high to the near side, looking for Furlong. Hogan goes down under the challenge of Livermore, but nothing is given. Now Mowat back towards Bartley seeking out Townsend inside the area. He's around the back on the left hand side, needs to be a good cross, but it was beyond both Phillips and Grant, and it's cleared away by Friend on this near side. But another good leap in the air from Ajayi to win it back, and Hogan has gone down. It looks to be in some trouble for Birmingham just beneath us, but players allowed to continue as Clark plays it wide to this near side, and Townsend, low cross in. Clark is still forward in this attack. He's challenged by Gardner, appeals for handball by Clark, and it's cleared away by Sarkic, and Hogan has remained down until eventually Jeremy Simpson will stop play and allow treatment for the Birmingham striker.
Well, for one, Sarkic kicked the ball out of play. He's kicked it in. The referee's the one that's blown up and stopped the game because Hogan stayed down. To be fair, I don't know if he's not holding his head, but still I think the referee can definitely bring play. I think it's Bartley's just taken him out. His eyes on the ball. Ajayi goes up and wins the header. Hogan's just behind Ajayi, and it's Bartley that's got his eye on the ball as well. It just comes together with Hogan there. That's a sore one, probably winded. But what a fantastic ball from Bartley to Townsend before, and to take it on his chest in the 18-yard box the way that he did, and then have the composure to put it back across the face. I was expecting to get a shot away there. Excellent ball. I'm just looking at it on the monitor now. I'm sitting thinking, you just get that with the head first time across, but he's got the quality, the composure to take it on the chest. Fantastic touch. And I'm just thinking, either get the shot away from a tight angle, but he's got the composure to try and find oncoming players, and there was no one there. The ball wasn't a bad one.
Well, both sets of players just mingling around the two technical areas as the managers have their say here with 25 minutes played on TalkSport 2. Hogan is still down on his haunches. Valerian Ismail there sporting the hoodie and the gilet tonight, and he's a very imposing figure. Central defender during his playing days, of course, briefly with Crystal Palace, but had much more success in Germany, winning the League and Cup double with both Werder Bremen and Bayern Munich. But he never hangs around for long, it seems, in too many jobs. He's had 8 previous managerial appointments, and he's never been anywhere longer than 19 months. And of course he was at Barnsley for less than a season, but took them from 21st into the playoffs in the end, transformed the way they played, transformed their ambitions, and of course they've gone back to a style of play which is possibly more pleasing on the eye this season, and they're currently 9 games without a win. Now Jukovic for Birmingham on the far side, finding Chong. Lovely footwork from him again as he breaks into the penalty area, but he's just crowded out in the end by a combination of Livermore and Townsend, and it will be a goal kick. And we suggested before kick-off, Chris, or I did, that Livermore might try and get close to Chong, but the reality is he can't get anywhere near him.
No, you can't. He's everywhere, isn't he? I've got to say, I said that without the ball, he just likes to kind of, but he's worked his socks off defensively, gets back, chases, takes responsibility. It's, how can you mark that, Nigel? You know, he's on the right channel, he's on the left channel, he's dropping deep and getting it. Livermore's just going, I'll leave you to it and I'll just sit in my little space at the minute. But some fantastic touches from Chong at the minute, just little ones round the corner. There he had too big a touch to get on the end of it. Again, Cam Jukovic in the box, you're sitting saying, right, you've done your little bit of brilliance, can you get that cross in the box? As soon as you beat the man, you don't have to beat him again.
One or two challenges just beginning to fly in. George Friend was caught late, midway inside the Birmingham half, and the visitors have a free kick taken by Sarkic, and then Chong has been felled by Townsend wide on the right-hand side, and it will be a free kick to Birmingham, not quite level with the edge of the West Brom penalty area on their right.
Well, again, another little bit of skill from Chong there as well. He knew the challenge was coming in, got round his man. Townsend can't do nothing. He can't do nothing. Basically has to foul him because Chong's already around him. He sees it. He sees it before he receives the ball. And like you say, Townsend just wasn't close enough there.
But Birmingham have not come here to just sit in and hope for a point. They are asking questions here of West Bromwich Albion. With 28 minutes played, 0-0. Chong will take the free kick, and he will whip this ball in once again, and there is plenty of height waiting for Birmingham at the far post. The cross, though, is dreadful.
Beat the first man there, Nigel, isn't it? You know, I think it's right coming in from where it is on the left. It's going right on top of Sam Johnson's goal. There's going to be bodies running across the front, but it has to beat the first man. It was poor.
Headed away by Alex Mowat, unchallenged. Mowat now with a long early ball forward, looking for Robinson. Volley clear by Roberts, quickly returned by Clark, and then Gardner finds Chong again, and two West Bromwich Albion players eventually wrestle the ball off him, but the ball towards Karlan Grant is quickly closed down by Roberts, and it spins back towards Sarkic again. Not really one for the purists so far, is it?
No, well, I'm just sitting saying there, I know exactly what you're saying there. I think Roberts there, he's just tried to just leather the ball. I think he has the quality and composure just to bounce it in. Bounce it into Gardner, because I understand, yeah, it's that match you want to kind of go in strong, but that's the moments that you can get the ball down and play, and to be fair, they have done it well, Birmingham.
Now Djukovic on the run again, chasing a long ball forward. Clark gets there first, twisting and turning, and he plays it back to his goalkeeper Sam Johnston, wearing all pink, the West Brom goalkeeper. Now Bartley, midway inside his own half, and it's that high diagonal from right to left, looking for Townsend again, who has done well to bring the ball down, but Colin was able to get across and make a challenge, and it will be a throw-in to West Brom on the far side. Sarkic with the most difficult save of the game so far to deny Townsend, who is on the ball now. Has support from Livermore. Mowat is square of him. Livermore, though, looks to continue and find Townsend. The cross is delivered but blocked at the near post by Gardner, and it will be a throw into West Brom on the far side.
Brilliant from Gardner, you know, going stopping that cross. There's been a couple come in already in this half from that left side. It's so important. Nullify it from the get-go there.
And the throw in from Townsend was looking for Karlan Grant, who quickly crumpled to the turf looking for a free kick, but nothing given by Jeremy Simpson, and Birmingham are able to clear on the far side. Birmingham have not won here since August of 2005, when Emil Heskey scored twice in the Premier League in a 3-2 win, but they may believe there are one or two positive signs. The last time they played here, they lost 3-2, having led twice in the game. And that was a cracking game we brought you on TalkSport 2 on a Friday night a couple of years ago. Now flicked on towards Djukovic, who is held down and fouled by Bartley, and it will be a free kick to Birmingham again inside West Brom territory, and Djukovic simply stood there and Bartley couldn't get round him.
No, that's it. You know, he knows exactly what it's coming, and Bartley's coming, and it's the arm that reaches over the shoulder of Djukovic, and it is a foul. It is a foul. He is looking for it. The referee has to get a little bit wise to that. It's a soft one, but it is a foul.
Chong with a free kick. Deeper this time, looking for Pedersen on the edge of the area. Ajay comes over the top of Pedersen to clear, and then the free kick is awarded to West Brom for offside on the edge of the West Brom penalty area.
Surely Pedersen wasn't offside from that white free kick from the get-go. It's from the second phase, that offside, isn't it, Nigel?
Yeah. Djukovic has blood continuing to seep out from a head injury around his right ear, so he is coming across to this near side for some running repairs, and they may have to swathe his head in bandages. Welcome, listeners, to TalkSport here to the Hawthorns. 32 minutes played. It is Birmingham 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. Albion with the best opportunity so far. Connor Townsend with a shot wide on the left-hand side, which was tipped over the top by Matthias Sarkic. But Chris Uwelimo, it has been a typical local derby, low on subtlety. Yeah,
no, not at all. A few challenges going in, exactly what's expected. I think Lee Bowyer will be the happier of both managers. They're being competitive, they're fighting for everything, showing that desire, winning more of the second balls. A little bit of quality in that down both sides. What I will say is that final product is not that chance, that final pass, that final cross into the box isn't quite up to the standard. So that is definitely an argument that he'll be saying to the players.
West Brom have a throw-in. Townsend long towards the penalty area on the far side, and it's headed behind by Dion Sanderson, and that will be the first corner of the game on the far side for West Bromwich Albion. Matt Phillips will think about taking it, but Alex Mowat will trot across in front of the Birmingham fans on the far side to take it for West Bromwich Albion. It has been the sort of game so far which is likely to find a first goal, should there be one, from a set piece, and Mowat now will look to deliver a good one into the penalty area. It's an in-swinging corner towards the near post, helped on by Bartley, and Birmingham will try and clear, play back into the penalty area by Grant. It's a hanging ball in, and it's gathered by Matthias Sarkic, the goalkeeper. Commentary continues on TalkSport 2, 34 minutes played. It is West Brom 0, Birmingham 0. And that West Brom set piece really summed up much of their play so far.
Yeah, you know what, I think Callan Grant should come on to that. You know, it's came through, it's been flicked on, it's around the penalty spot. He's a little bit too far out, about 23 yards. I want him to kind of anticipate that and come on to it, and he's possibly getting an attempt at goal if he does.
And you'll hear the ironic cheers which tell you that West Brom have a free kick, and it's taken quickly. Now Livermore just inside the Birmingham half, back towards Bartley again, and it's swung out towards Townsend, who brings it down, bobs and weaves inside the penalty area beyond Collan. Now the shot from Callum Robinson, which is blocked by Sanderson on the edge of the area. Djukovic goes tumbling but doesn't get the free kick as it's played wide to Townsend, in towards Robinson again, who tries to bring the ball down on his chest on the corner of the 6-yard area, loses its footing, and it's gathered by Matthias Sarkic.
Well, fantastic play from big Matty Clark there. He went on, won the ball, releases it to Townsend. Fantastic ball in. There's 3 bodies in the box. I've got to say, I think it's Callan Grant, is it, or Matty Phillips just behind Callum Robinson. He's got to give the voice, got to say that the ball's behind Callum Robinson. It's such a difficult header. Callum Grant's got to say to him, leave that there, and he's definitely getting a header towards goal, and he's unmarked as well.
And now West Brom have a goal kick away to our left-hand side, taken short by Johnston. And now Bartley in towards Mowat again. And Sunic and Chong have done a good job of restricting the space for Alex Mowat so far whenever he's tried to get deep into Birmingham territory. 1 or 2 stewards are just gathering in the stand on the far side. And it's possible that supporters of both clubs are in the same area of the stand, and as a result the police are also moving in to remove a number of individuals who have been taken down a stairwell onto the concourses beneath the stand on the far side. Play continues while this is happening, and it does seem that the police and stewards have got the situation under control. Now Sunic for Birmingham, a misplaced pass out from Johnston, back to Friend, high and long looking for Hogan. Sunic now heads it over the top, and it will be shepherded back by Bartley towards Johnston, who quickly bolts it out to the far side, the left, and Townsend. And there are still plenty of orange-coated stewards making their way towards that area of the stand on the far side, just behind where Phillips is looking to shake off the attentions of Sanderson. He delivers the cross into the penalty area, but once again, there were very few blue and white shirts inside the box to even have a look at the cross.
Yeah, but took too long to come in. Had opportunity to put it in earlier there. Nice, Matty Phillips, he's came back. He's took his man on again, came back. The bodies, I understand, yeah, you've got to consistently keep moving in the 18-yard box. But just, they've came thinking, is it going to come in?
Now Grant fires the shot towards goal. Very little backlift coming in field from the right-hand side, and it whizzed over the angle.
Again, we've got a fantastic line to that. He struck it well, the ball didn't move whatsoever. Sarkic was comfortable though, it was always rising. You know, watched it going over, pulled the hands away at the end as well there, but better there from West Brom.
Matija Sarkic, on loan from Wolves. Of course, also had time at Aston Villa as well in the Championship. And he clears downfield. Right-footed once again. There's another aerial duel between Bartley and Djukovic. Djukovic losing out, but then he's able to bring the ball down on his chest before Bartley makes the challenge, pokes it through towards Robinson, but Friend is there to clear for Birmingham. Only as far, though, as Furlong. A high hanging ball over the top from him, looking for Phillips. And Roberts will just make sure the ball goes behind for a goal kick. 38 minutes played on TalkSport 2, 0-0 here at the Hawthorns. Fulham against Queen's Park Rangers and Southampton against Leeds. The live games on Game Day on TalkSport 2 tomorrow. Over on TalkSport 12:30, Watford against Liverpool with Sam Matterface and Dean Ashton. Game Day live with Adrian Durham, live from Leicester against Manchester United, and then Brentford against Chelsea with Joe Shennon and Alvin Martin at 5:30. And Chris and I will be making the trip down to South Wales on Sunday morning for Swansea against Cardiff. We are on the air at 11:45, and that's before a big Sunday of NFL action, including live commentary of the Dolphins against the Jaguars, live from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium at 2 o'clock. Furlong with the ball forward, which is blocked by Pedersen, and it's guided back by Ajayi towards Johnston. Now Clark with another long ball forward, looking for Phillips, and rising to head the ball away is Roberts, and it will be a throw-in to West Brom. And we have 5.5 minutes to play in the first half, and it's the sort of evening, Chris, where you really have to earn your money.
Yeah, you do. I've got to say, I've been really impressed with Mark Roberts. You know, he's stopped crosses from coming in, he's seen the danger, he's covering, and like you say, he's going and he's contesting everything, winning some important headers. What we'll say, just that little bit of quality. Doesn't always have to head it out. Can he just head it to the holding midfielder that's facing up, keep possession of the ball rather than giving back to West Brom.
And there is no Grady Diangana in the matchday squad for West Brom this evening. I understand there is no injury, he's just not been selected. So their attacking options, Jordan Hugel and Adam Reach, could also play in the wide area. Robert Snodgrass could also come in as an attacking midfielder.
Statement that, wasn't it? Just leaving him out. Diangana playing his quality in the Championship as well. But like you say, he's not been firing, has he? And it's a big statement from the manager to get a reaction. Hopefully he'll get the right one.
And you just get the feeling that Valerian Ismail puts the team before the individual.
Yeah, I think all managers probably do.
Now Hogan chasing a long ball forward, and he's offside. Fires a shot towards goal, and it's gathered by Johnston.
His movement's fantastic though, the Hogan. You know, he's always playing on the shoulder. Went a little bit too early there, but it's a nightmare for defenders because, you know, they don't really know where he is. That one, and it's evident that Billy Boyle said that to the likes of Chong. You know, even the blind one over the shoulder. They play such a high line, the three. I know they're quite kind of compact and close together, but they've been caught a couple of times with that straight ball over the top.
Well, Scott Hogan brought up 50 Championship goals in Birmingham's last victory, which was against Derby at the end of September. Since then, they have not scored a goal from open play. A Troy Deeney penalty and a 4-1 defeat against Fulham. Their only success as Hogan again causes problems on this near side and has won a throw-in for Birmingham, which is about 15 yards from the corner flag. And it's in a really good position for Roberts to put this right under the crossbar.
Yeah, that's it exactly. I think just put it right on top of Sam Johnson and have the bodies running across. Put him under as much pressure as, to be fair, he's comfortable though. Just watch this. Sam Johnson makes the right decision, comes out, punches if he has to.
Roberts right into the 6-yard area. Jukovic with a header, inches wide, glanced on from 6 yards out, and Johnston was rooted, and I don't think he would have got there.
I don't think he would have. I'll be honest, you know, the pace was on the ball. Jukovic got planted, read the line of the ball very well, and just helped it on, and it just went wide. You know, it was so close, and that's what I'm saying, a massive opportunity. But again, never took the chance.
Well, since his first goal in the Championship, no one has scored more headers at this level than Lukas Jukovic, including 5 of his previous 7, as West Brom win a free kick about 25 yards out, right of centre, for a challenge on Callum Robinson. And so far, he has not been afforded the room in this game that Azerbaijan and Qatar did in the 2 internationals during the break. Sunic with the challenge. And it's Mowat who is over the free kick. And we have 90 seconds of normal time to play in the first half here at the Hawthorns. Rather subdued for a local derby at the moment. Everybody back defending for Birmingham. Mowat with the free kick high to the far post. Sarkic did really well, commanding goalkeeping, made the decision to come out and claim it, and he was caught as well in the act of catching that ball, and he's gone down, and he may require some treatment.
Yeah, he took a nasty fall there. I've got to say, fantastic goalkeeping. The ball was excellent coming in, there was bodies running in, he's came through a lot of bodies there, great hands, but he's came over the top of one of the players, and he's basically came down on his back there. Winded at the minute, hopefully he'll be okay, but fantastic goalkeeping.
And you've got the monitor there. Was he caught by one of his teammates?
No, it was I think it was Kyle Bartley that he's come over the top of there, but basically it's the centre of his back that's taken the full force. Just very much winded.
Well, Lee Bowyer is having a conversation with a couple of his players on this near side, Gary Gardner and Scott Hogan. Valerian Ismail has drawn Alex Mowat in for some one-to-one in-game coaching as Sarkic receives some treatment. Conal Truman is the backup goalkeeper, as he has been at Birmingham for some time. Sarkic looks to be okay as we enter a minimum of 4 added minutes at the end of this first half. 0-0. And it was 0-0 the last time these two sides met here, just before West Brom were promoted back in June of 2020. And there have not been back-to-back 0-0 draws in this fixture since 1923. So we will see what the second half brings. Or the added time in the first half as Sarkic clears long downfield and Birmingham have a throw-in, and a number of West Bromwich Albion fans have vacated their seats to head downstairs to pick up some refreshment at half-time. Birmingham have a throw-in, and Roberts again will look to use the room on the far side to deliver this into the penalty area. And I think the pitch has been narrowed on the far side to give Furlong more room for West Brom, but it's something Roberts can use here. High into the 6-yard area, flicked on by a West Brom header gathered by Johnston. Well, again, it's
Jukovic with a fantastic flick. He reads the ball so well, but someone's got to be gambling off the back there. Chong, get yourself around the back post and you're getting an opportunity. It's a great flick. The pace that Roberts gets on the throws is outstanding as well.
Well, Sarkic gathers another long ball forward for West Brom. And it's been a match which has just lacked quality at times. And Phillips now is just impeding Sarkic as he looks to clear downfield, and Lee Bowyer complains to Lee Doughty, the fourth official. Head tennis around the centre circle as Friend heads it forward for Birmingham. Then Sunic with a slice into the air, nodded away by Furlong for West Brom. Furlong with another header forward. It's quickly returned by Sanderson. We need a net over the halfway line for the head tennis, and in the end West Brom have a free kick. Now Furlong again on this near side, back in field to Ajayi, and that's a good ball to change the point of the attack and find Clark, but he comes in field to find Mowat. Now Townsend, who has been probably West Brom's biggest attacking threat, and he's the left wing back. Grant in a very deep position once again, back towards Mowat, and all the way back to the halfway line, and Bartley wide to this near side looking for Furlong, and the header is guided away by Pedersen, and it will be a throw-in to West Bromwich Albion, and Furlong could hurl it long as well.
You just said there about Callum Grant being deep, far too deep in my opinion, Nigel, but I do understand for the fact that Connor Townsend is bombing down that left-hand side. He allows him that space by being as deep as he is, but I would like him to get a little bit more advanced in those attacking areas. He's too far away from it at the minute, you know, if it's going up. Matty Phillips keeping it alive, Callum Robinson's always around, he's got to be in there as well.
Long from Furlong towards the near post, headed away by Pedersen. No one in a yellow shirt on the halfway line, so it's Townsend with another ball pumped back towards the area. Djukovic will clear, and now Sunic with a clever ball wide to the right-hand side, and Chong will sprint forward towards the edge of the area, just checks back and looks for support, finds it from Gardner, and Gardner with a ball wide to this near side, and Pedersen. 4 yellow shirts wait on the edge of the penalty area. Pedersen tries to take on Furlong. Furlong sticks with him. Both Pedersen and Furlong end up in a heap on the ground, and in the end it's cleared away by West Brom, and Sunic lunges in and leaves a huge muddy smear on the pitch just in front of us, and it will be a throw-in on this near side, which Furlong will take after wiping the ball on a pink towel, but it's irrelevant in the end because the half-time whistle goes. And both sides have had chances. We had the shot from Connor Townsend tipped over by Matthias Sarkic, and Lucas Djukovic from long range almost catching out Sam Johnston, who made the save, and the header from Djukovic inches wide of the far post after a throw-in for Mark Roberts. But in truth, so far it is a local derby which has lacked quality in key areas for long spells. At half-time, it is West Bromwich Albion 0, Birmingham City 0. Thank you, Dan. It is Jordan Hugill who is coming on for West Brom. He has been warming up on his own during the half-time break. I'm just looking out there trying to work out who he's replaced. Phillips is still out there. I think it might be Callum Robinson who has come off. The
7, yeah.
Yeah. He was called an Irish legend by West Brom before the game, but he's only played 45 minutes here.
Quiet for Callum Robinson, that 45 minutes though, Nigel, and like you say, as a manager, you're at home, they've not lost here at the Hawthorns. The fans, you've got to make big decisions, and like you say, the game needed something, and Jordan Hugill brings that presence, that aggression, and it's a different dynamic that he brings to West Brom.
Of course, he's on loan from Norwich, having helped them to promotion last season. It is Birmingham who will get the second half underway in their yellow shirts, blue shorts and white socks, defending the Birmingham road end away to our left-hand side. And West Bromwich Albion with that broad dark blue stripe on the white shirt. And it's the Birmingham fans who will be hoping that Sam Johnston concedes away to our right in the second half, as it's quickly won on this near side by Grant. Grant's been hauled down by Collan, and it will be a free kick to West Brom. So a reminder of the sides again. For West Brom, Johnson in goal, Ajayi, Bartley and Clark, the back three. Furlong, Livermore, Mowat and Townsend across midfield. And it's now Hugill and Grant and Phillips in attack. And another Birmingham player has gone down, and it's Maxime Colland, who is just doing his boots up, it seems, on this near side. And the home crowd in particular have been rather agitated by Birmingham players just stopping the play whenever they get the opportunity. And there is going to be a change made by Birmingham as well, right at the start of the second half. And for Collan, this is more than just an attempt to manage the clock, because he's hobbling off, and Jeremy Baylor will be the player to come back on for them. Player who scored their last goal from open play against Derby at the end of September. And there will be a reshuffle here.
Yeah, that's something that they knew about, Nigel. You know, Bella was ready there, so I think he just went out to see if he could try and run it off, whatever it is. It seemed that he was looking down, it was the sole of his feet, so hopefully metatarsals and all that are okay, but obviously Jeremy Bella comes on and position he knows well.
He will come in as the right wing back up against Connor Townsend in the second half. So the Birmingham team is now Sarkic in goal, Roberts, Sanderson and Pedersen their back three. Bella will be the right wing back, Friend on the left, with Gardner and Sunic supporting Chong, who is behind Hogan and Djukovic. 2.5 minutes played in the second half on the at the Hawthorns on TalkSport 2, 0-0 in this West Midlands derby. The West London derby coming up from Craven Cottage between Fulham and Queen's Park Rangers. The first of two tomorrow, live across the TalkSport network, TalkSport 2 for the one in the Championship, and then it is Brentford against Chelsea over on TalkSport at 5:30. Just some of the football we have on offer for you this weekend, as Birmingham try and build on this near side, headed forward by Gardner. Djukovic once again tangling with Bartley. It's cleared by Ajayi, but now Baylor with the opportunity to bring the ball forward for Birmingham, and he will be more offensive naturally than Maxime Collan, and trickier on the ball as well. But Clark clears downfield once again for West Brom, and Sanderson may have to shuffle across to this near side on the number of occasions when Bella chooses to go wandering further up the field.
Much better there from Mark Roberts as well. Into Sunic, little defensive header, goes up, he's challenging, and that's what you want. You know, we understand that, yeah, you want to have that aggression, come and make sure that you leave your mark on your man, but that little bit of quality that he does possess. Fantastic defensive header as well into Sunic, and they kept possession of the ball.
Birmingham have now gone 4.5 games without a goal, but in terms of stopping the rot, there was areas to admire in their first half performance, where you consider the situation they're in, lacking confidence, lacking goals, a leaky defence, and the changes made by Lee Bowyer so far have been justified. High hanging ball into the penalty area from Phillips, drops to Townsend. Bella rather got lost underneath the high ball. Townsend fired towards goal, right-footed, and it sliced off the outside of his boot some way wide.
Well, I've got to say, the cross that came in there from Phillips was I think shocking. You know, it was a high lofted ball. Townsend took the touch that he took in the D there was outstanding with the left foot, and then he just couldn't make the right connection with the right. But again, fantastic quality and anticipating it. He's saying, I'm getting in there, I'm going to be on my front foot. Fantastic first touch.
Bit of a chill in the air now, but it's still dry and very still in the Black Country, as another long ball played forward for West Brom comes to nothing. The boos are for Matthias Sarkic, who, as is his right, just waits for Jordan Hugel to trot towards him before gathering the ball and clearing long downfield. Djukovic had arms on him from Bartley, but Bartley leapt and won the header. Here is Hogan on this near side, looking to keep the ball in play, but in the end just sends the ball dribbling over the byline, and that will be a goal kick for West Brom. 50 minutes played, West Brom 0, Birmingham 0. Birmingham looking to address a worrying sequence of results. A draw here would make it 6 games without a win for the first time since 2017, when their season was unravelling under Gianfranco Zola, but they would regard a draw here as progress. It would be something before they have a trip to Huddersfield coming up later next week.
Well, I think if you'd offered Lee Bowyer a point before the ball was kicked, I think he would take it, especially with the quality that West Brom possess. But now, after seeing the match, 50 50 odd minutes in. I'm not too sure he would accept it. I think the points are here to be got tonight.
Well, if either side can produce a moment of quality, that could be enough.
Exactly, that's it.
Now Clark, square towards Townsend for Albion, on this near side there left, just beneath us as he crosses the halfway line, challenged by Chong, and in the end the ball forward from Townsend will be cleared by Sarkic, outside his own penalty area, looking for Chong with that shock of dark hair, but Clark beats him in the air, and it will be a throw-in for Birmingham on this near side, and it's a really good learning process for Tahi Chong, already a Dutch under-21 international, on loan from Manchester United. He was on loan at Werder Bremen and Club Brugge last season, but a season in the Championship will certainly teach him one or two things. As Furlong now looks to move over the halfway line, but it's a brilliant challenge from Pedersen to stop him. Hogan looks to stride beyond the try down the Birmingham left, but the ball again just evades him, and it will be a throw into the baggies.
Again, it's fantastic play there from Pedersen. Livermore releases Furlong, and I think the weight of pass was excellent. It was a challenge that had to be made, but it had to be the timing had to be perfect, because Furlong had the full half to go into there. They're just winning it. They want it more. They're winning second balls. They're putting West Brom under pressure. West Brom have to show the quality that they've got. Use the ball better.
West Brom, 6 wins, 4 draws, and a single defeat. They enjoyed their best ever unbeaten start to a season before that loss at Stoke live on TalkSport 2 a couple of weeks ago. But again, they are underwhelming at times to watch. If this is a team looking to head towards the Premier League, where is the spark, you have to say? Gardner picks up a loose ball for Birmingham, looks to go himself over the halfway line, but it's tidied up by Mowat and cleared downfield by Johnston. They've got some fine players here, West Brom, without any question, and they all seem to be in tune with what Valerian Ismail wants, but at times it does break down as it's played forward by Baylor. Good ball for Chong, who was offside, and had he timed his run better, Birmingham would have been in.
Well, the referee played on, and then it went past a certain moment of time. Bella then breaks through. I've got to say, I don't think Bella can release the ball any earlier there. Chong, I'm looking on the monitor. You know what? Well, Dan's beside me saying that he's offside. It's his hand, I feel, it's offside there. It's a very, very tight one, and he's the closest one to the linesman there. That is very, very tight. But I've got to say, he didn't have to be as tight as that. He could actually arc his run a little bit. He's got the full half to run into. No one's catching him with the weight of pass that Bella had delivered there.
Livermore, wide to the far side, and Furlong. The crossing, though, is headed away by Gardner. As far as Townsend delivers a cross which is deflected, appeals for handball, nothing given as Sanderson clears away for Birmingham, headed in field by Clark. It'll be picked up by Sunic, the Croatian with the flowing hair. He now plays a 1-2 with Hogan, breaks over the halfway line, almost played it through towards Chong, and then Sunic and Livermore have a coming together on the ground inside the centre circle. It did seem that Sunic kicked out at Livermore, but the referee allowed play to go on.
Well, I've seen it the other way. I've seen Livermore have a little kick back as Sunic is on the floor, so maybe you've seen the first one and it was just a retaliation. There's no room for it. Like Jeremy Simpson's right there, he's a couple of metres from it. So they're both very lucky that they got away at Bella here.
Bella sprinting away now for Birmingham, crossed in, looking for Hogan, and he went for it, lunging in at the far post, unable to get the touch, but it's the Birmingham fans applauding behind the goal because they can suddenly see a route to a goal in this game.
Nigel, fantastic break down the right hand side from Bella, great ball in. Hogan goes with the outside of his right foot there. Why does he not go with the left? He goes with the left, it gives himself more time. Just make any contact, steer it goalwards, and it's definitely asking Sam Johnson that question.
But the volume is raised inside the Hawthorns on all 4 sides of the stadium as Furlong comes forward now for West Brom down the right hand side. Livermore again, lovely turn from Phillips on the edge of the area, but showed too much of that to Roberts, who clears on the far side, and it will be a throw-in as Valérien Ismaël claps his hands above his head on the edge of the West Brom technical area, and then there's a lack of understanding between Furlong and Ajayi, and the ball goes out of play, and it will be a throw-in. And we can hear "Keep Right On" from the Birmingham fans, belting that out from the Halford Lane stand away to our right-hand side. Birmingham with the best chance so far in the second half, and West Brom are really labouring at home. And we were here 3 weeks ago for the game against Queen's Park Rangers. They won the game, and if you win games, nothing else matters.
Exactly.
But the way they played was similar to this, and if you don't win those sort of games, people will not be happy.
No.
The people who sat over there in the stand.
No, you're spot on. You're spot on. What I will say, in games like this, when it's just one moment of quality, like you said, and they have a lot of players that can that turn this game on its head. So at the minute, just individual errors there. Furlong, Ajayi, just giving the ball away unforced. There was no pressure on it. The ball goes out of play, a mistimed pass. You know, now look at it now, a throw and long throws coming in the box. They're taking it short to Bella.
Short to Bella, back towards Roberts again. Crossed high towards the far post. Djukovic was the target, but it's gathered by Johnston, who quickly bowls out. Good release as well to find Grant, who is just held back by Chong on this near side. Valérien Ismaël outside the technical area, bellowing at Lee Doughty, the fourth official. Now Livermore is in the face of the referee as well as the captain.
Absolute brilliant from Jeremy Simpson there. Yeah, Livermore's in his face there, trying to get him booked there, and it was just one of them. You know, the referee made his decision. It was a foul. He's not going to bring out the yellow card there. I'm not having all that getting in the referee's face there. Livermore, with the experience that he's got, he's trying to get the young lad booked there. Shocking.
Livermore now turning away from Chong on the edge of the centre circle, lofted wide to the far side, headed away by Pedersen. Hogan will try and keep the ball in play, and does so. Now shuffles over the halfway line. He's being clipped by Mowat, and Mowat has gone down. Of course, he was an injury doubt before this game, and following that foul on Hogan, he is now saying he requires treatment.
Well, he's waved straight away. He knows something's very, very wrong there. You know, I think we'll look at it on the monitor. Yeah, you can see he's covering his face. Hogan does very well to keep it in. He cuts inside. Oh, you know what? It's right on the top of Mowat's left foot, and it's I tell you what, it's a sore one. It is a sore one, so I don't know what the issue was before, but he knew straight away. He's signalling to the bench that his time's up.
58 minutes play. We welcome listeners from TalkSport to the Hawthorns once again. It is still goalless between West Brom and Birmingham in the Championship. Birmingham are on such a wretched run, but they've come closest to scoring since half-time. A cross in from Jeremy Baylor on the right-hand side, and Hogan lunging in at the far post, just unable to divert the ball into the back of the net. Problems now, though, for West Brom, because the influential midfielder Alex Mowat may not be able to continue in this game. There is movement on the West Brom bench. Adam Reach looks like he's about to come on, and there could be other changes in the offing as well. But it's a free kick for Birmingham first. West Brom down to 10 men at the moment. Pumped long by Friend into the area, and the flag goes up for offside, and it's gathered by Sam Johnston once again. West Brom, with a victory, will go back on top of the Championship, but at the moment they will have to play an awful lot better than this to have any hope of winning this game or staying there should they pick up the 3 points. We've played an hour. It is still goalless, and commentary continues on TalkSport 2. Pedersen now gathers at the far post, crosses high towards Djukovic, challenging, but Johnston once again is secure, and it will be Jason Malumbi, the Republic of Ireland international, who will come on to replace Alex Mowat very soon. And the moment Mowat went down there following that challenge with Hogan, he knew.
He did, yeah. It was the left foot just made contact, and straight away, I'm not sure if it was the ankle or definitely something to do with the foot there. Real issue. He knew straight away, signalling to the bench.
Matt Clark on loan from Brighton, so too is Jason Malumbi, who'll be on short leave for West Bromwich Albion as Sanderson catches Hugo late, 25 yards out down the left hand side, and it will be a free kick here for West Brom as Malumbi comes on to replace Mowat. And Malumbi will be a similar sort of player around the midfield area, but Mowat, for the second successive game, going off injured. And you can hear the applause from those beneath us in the main stand here. Our Grand Prix is slung underneath the roof of the main stand as we look out and see a free kick for Birmingham, or rather for West Brom. Phillips will take it. Phillips with the delivery, high towards the far post, and it's beyond everybody, and straight out for a goal kick.
Well, it's not a bad ball there from Phillips. I just feel that someone's got to go round. No, Dan's tapping me on the shoulder, but he's got to go round the back. Someone's got to. Everyone's came near.
Well, this is significant. You don't often see this. Valerian Ismail is deep in conversation with Alex Mowat, and Ismail is shaking his head, and he looks very disappointed. And you don't often see managers having conversations like that with an injured player during the game.
Well, they'll have that relationship, won't they? You know, I think...
Of course, from Barnsley.
Yeah, so I think he's just making sure, again, he's his player, he's brought him in, he's a fantastic player, he's just making sure, again, concern, because he wants him out there, he wants him playing with the creative ability that he's got, and he brings goals as well.
62 minutes played, a long throw from Furlong, looking for Phillips, and it's sliced out of play and behind by Friend, and it will be a corner kick to West Brom on the far side. Well, Connor Townsend will take it.
Good play there from Phillips. You know, again, George Friend just never cleared the area. Phillips just got himself between the ball and man, ushered it out. Corner kick, and like you say, go and ask the question, go and attack it.
Townsend will take it, and in swingeth Sarkic's claims unchallenged. And he looks to quickly release the ball up towards the halfway line. Chong and Hogan are the players waiting. It's headed away by Malumbi. Sunic now finding Chong again on this near side, the Birmingham right. Back in field to Gardner. And he swings the ball from right to left. And Pedersen, the blonde-haired central defender, has time to find Hogan, who was onside, and he skips away from Ajayi, deep into the penalty area, pulled back to Sunic, and it hits the crossbar. Ivan Sunic inches away from the opening goal for Birmingham. Hogan did brilliantly down the left-hand side, and Sunic with the side foot, seeing it glance off the crossbar.
Fantastic bit of play, you know. Pedersen, great way to pass to Hogan, great run as well. Does ever so well, gets away from Ajayi there. The way to pass just sets up Sunic. It has to be in the back of the net. It's a massive chance now, Joe. I'm looking down at Lee Bowyer as well. He cannot believe it.
No, it's been given away by Roberts. Hugo will play it wide. Townsend with a cross into the penalty area, and it deflects kindly for Baylor to clear the ball away, and West Brom had Birmingham all over the place there. Now Chong releases Djukovic on this near side. He's challenged by Clark. No free kick, and it's back with Johnston.
Okay, Djukovic, he got absolutely taken out from Bartley and Matty Clark there. He was on his own. Chong, great ball down this right channel, and Djukovic, great run, kept it alive, but physical challenge from both players. No foul, fair challenge, but like you say, the game has definitely opened up.
Well, Lee Bowyer, the Birmingham manager, once scored with a delicate chip here for Leeds against West Brom in the Premier League back in 2002, and either side could just do with that moment of quality here. 64 minutes played, 0-0.
Sunic has to do better there. You know, the belief he got away from his man, he's free, the way to pass was excellent. He knows exactly where the goal is. Yes, there's a few bodies in front, but it was always rising, comes off the top of the crossbar. You know, ask the question of Sam Johnson, hit the target. If he saves it, so be it, but make sure you hit the target.
Well, he's not scored since July of 2020. Maybe we saw why.
Yeah, but again, it is a fantastic opportunity. I've got to say, Hogan does ever so well, creates it from nothing, close control, gets away from his man, and has the composure to see Sunic, and the way to pass was excellent.
So much more action coming up on TalkSport 2 tomorrow. Fulham against Queen's Park Rangers at 12:30. with Alex Crook and David Connolly, as West Brom give the ball away on the edge of their own area, and now Sunic will play it through towards Hogan onto Djukovic, but it's Malumbi who comes back to make a very important challenge, with Djukovic looking to pull the trigger. Now Ajayi coming in field from the far side, the right, finding Townsend, steps in field beyond Baylor. Townsend now continues, Livermore, and Malumbi quickly on towards Ajayi again. And our offering from the Premier League tomorrow at 3 o'clock with Ian Danta and Perry Groves is Southampton against Leeds. On TalkSport, Watford Liverpool at 12:30, Brentford Chelsea at 5:30. With Game Day Live with Adrian Durham, with all the goals as they go in live from the King Power Stadium. Grant for West Brom on this near side, twisting and turning away from Gardner. The cross in there only picks out Dion Sanderson. His header away is quickly regathered by the home side. Swansea Cardiff coming up on TalkSport 2 with Chris and myself on Sunday at 11:45, and West Brom will be facing Swansea in their next game, also in South Wales, next Wednesday, and that will also be live on TalkSport 2. There have not been back-to-back 0-0 draws in this fixture since 1923, but we are 23 minutes away from that record coming to an end. Sanderson once again doing well to hold up Carlin Grant, and I'm not sure where Grant's playing, Chris. I'm still not sure.
Yeah, he's, you know what, it's more down this left side, but he does find himself floating in centrally, too deep still in my opinion, but he does hold up. The ball goes through him, and he tries to get up and support Hugo every opportunity, but I just want him up there as close to Hugo as possible, and maybe sometimes go a little bit direct with quality, and then pick up that second ball in those attacking areas. But at the minute he is very, very deep and very expansive as well.
Jordan Hugill, a player who found it difficult to get starts at Norwich last season. Of course, he was behind Timo Pukki in the pecking order. Only started 7 games in the Championship. As Chang once again shows good skill for Birmingham on the halfway line, but good refereeing from Jeremy Simpson, who's had a very good night so far. There was an earlier foul on Friend, and as a result he's gone back to that and given Birmingham the free kick.
No, I think he's been excellent, hasn't he, Jeremy Simpson? I think he's there, that 3-4 seconds is an advantage. If there's not, he brings it back. He did let one go probably 6 seconds, and then the advantage wasn't there, and Bella managed to break down, and they should have done better at that other side. Hogan had that missed opportunity.
And the free kick for Birmingham again comes to nothing. There was a tangle on the edge of the area between Hugill and Roberts, and eventually the ball bobbles out of play on this near side, and it will be a throw-in for Birmingham, which Roberts will take, and any throw-in inside the opposition half will reach the penalty area. And the former Barnsley manager, Valerian Ismail, looks on as the former Barnsley central defender, Mark Roberts, just wipes the ball on his shirt. The towels don't appear to be made available for the Birmingham players.
No.
Roberts, though, throws it long towards the near post, headed away by Clark. Friend didn't jump in the end because he knew that there would be another throw-in coming up now for Roberts, much closer to the West Brom goal.
Yeah, this is a better angle, isn't it?
Well, Lee Bowyer is suggesting something to him as Roberts throws it flat towards the penalty spot, and it fell to Hogan at the far post, hit the ball on the run but got right underneath it.
Well, you can see by Hogan's reaction, he knows he should be doing better. I think he's watching it all the way. He knows that it's coming to him there, and he does just have that belief, better contact, and just try and hit the target. He takes it on the half volley, but it was always going high and wide there. But with the quality that Hogan's got, he's got away from his man. You know what? Hit the target.
Townsend infield towards Grant again. Sanderson makes the challenge, and There is extravagant applause there from Valérien Ismaël as a free kick is given. Lee Burrow's response is to berate Lee Doughty, the fourth official.
I think that could have went either way. Jeremy Simpson blew up early again, not having Livermore's reaction. You know, he's really he's usually so calm, collected, but again, giving the referee a really hard time.
As we enter the final 19 minutes here on Talk Sport 2. Now we have PGA Tour Golf coming up following this game, as Chong is chopped down on the halfway line by Clark. And finally we see the first yellow card of the evening for the West Bromwich Albion central defender. And Ismaël again is right in the face of the referee, 3 yards away from him, berating him.
Well, that's a free kick and a yellow card. I think it's a great little bit of skill from Chong to get away. You know, it's a strong challenge. It's a genuine attempt for the ball, but it's a late one. Chong's got the full half to run into. So again, the yellow card was the right option.
Roberts, excuse me, Roberts is over the free kick. Troy Deeney coming out to warm up underneath a Birmingham beanie hat. Roberts high to the far post, nodded away by Ajayi. Bella. And now Hugel volleys it wide to this near side, taken down superbly by Grant, but Bella is able to nip in and just hammer it long downfield again. I wonder how many headers there have been in this game, and if there have been more headers in this game than in any other game in the history of time. It's been...
Won't be far off, Nigel.
No, I mean... we always knew this game was likely to go like this. But it is one of those matches where, look, if somebody wins it, somebody goes home happy. One set of fans will be absolutely delighted, and they won't worry about what's gone before. And that's why the game still holds the interest in the final 17 minutes, because all three results are still possible.
Very much so. I've got to say, fantastic touch there from Carlin Grant as well. Got away from his man. Little kind of outside of the pass to Connor Townsend. Just the quality of that final pass again.
Malumbi with a high ball wide to the far side. Furlong will jump with Pedersen. It beats them both in the air and goes out for a throw into Birmingham by the corner flag on the far side. Birmingham 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. 17 minutes to play at the Hawthorns on TalkSport 2. NFL action also coming up this weekend, live from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The Jaguars against the Dolphins, 2 o'clock after the South Wales derby on Sunday. Long throw, this time from Friend on the far side, the Birmingham left. It's dropping to Hugel. Hugel slides in, and in the end it's a throw into West Brom, which Furlong can take, and he will make use of a huge towel which has been left for him, level with the edge of the penalty area on the far side.
Tell you what, I think they've been under instruction to hide those towels then whenever it's a Birmingham throw.
Furlong with a long throw into the penalty area once again, and it's flicked on by Clark at the far post. Grant was waiting for the volley, but diving in with a very brave header was Gardner, and it will be a throw-in for West Brom again.
Well, I'm waiting to look at this on the monitor. Everyone in possession, no one claimed it, but I thought Gardner went with the arm there. You know, I'll have to have a... You know what? It's a handball. Surely, does no one see that? I thought he went with the hand, but no one claimed. Jeremy Simpson's in a perfect position, but he's went with the head and the hand, and it's the hand that's taken it away.
Grant now turning, right foot shot from him, whistles in towards the near post, and Carlin Grant with yet another late goal for West Bromwich Albion, and this one could be enough to take them top of the championship. Never mind the quality, look at the table. West Bromwich Albion 1, Birmingham 0.
Well, you said at one moment of quality, comes into Grant, fantastic, 19 yards outside the box, Fantastic striking, you know what? Sakic has no chance. The power of the shot at the near post. You always say, can you do better at that near post? He's got too much space. You know, he gets at his man, just creates that yard. It's a fantastic strike, but I've got to say, Sakic has to do better at the near post. You know, don't get closer to Callum Grant there. The accuracy of the shot, you know, was the power of the shot was what took it past him, but well, I think Sakic has to hold his hands up there and say, I need to do better.
Well, he came up with 2 late goals against Queen's Park Rangers here in the previous home game when Albion were behind for 75 minutes. And he's given West Brom the lead here. And Birmingham have lost 5 of the previous 6 games this season when they've fallen behind and drawn the other.
Well, we've said, haven't we, Nigel, that Callum Grant's been very quiet. We didn't know where he was playing. He was very, very deep. All anyone's going to remember if they take 3 points here is he's got a goal, and that's what they get judged on. So, job done.
Roberts now with a long throw into the penalty area for Birmingham. It's cleared as far as Sunic. He fires in a volley. It's blocked. Sunic with another effort, and he goes down claiming he was caught on the edge of the area. Players from both sides now squaring up. Malumbi and Friend are having 1 or 2 words as Sunic hobbles towards the edge of the penalty area, then squares up to Bartley, and a punch was thrown there by Malumbi, and now players from both sides are just beginning to gather, and if Jeremy Simpson saw that, Malumbi could be in trouble.
Just don't raise your hands. I don't know why he's getting involved. Sunic has went up to Bartley because he feels there was Jeremy Simpson's asking someone to come back there, so I'm not sure if he's seen.
Well, Malumbi swung a punch, no doubt about that. It was Sunic who was the other player involved, and Jeremy Simpson will have to try and sort 1 or 2 things out here. His 4th official was sorting out a replacement in the end, and no more than a word as the change is made for Birmingham. Scott Hogan coming off, and Chuck Sanike comes off the bench for the 10th time this season.
Again, he's just going to throw it. I won't be surprised if Troy Deeney comes on as well. They've got to throw everything at it and try and get something out of this match with the results that they've had. But very much now it's in the hands of West Brom. Can they manage the game, see it out, be professional, use the ball better than what they have done?
Birmingham heading for 5 defeats out of 6 without scoring from open play. 5 games without a goal for the first time since 2005. Now Grant for West Brom again, threaded through towards Phillips, left-hand side of the area, looking to shake off Friend, who makes the challenge and concedes the corner.
Well, I've got to say, Callum Grant again, fantastic close control, great awareness, little pass. Again, the instep of his foot to Phillips, great first touch from Phillips, really kept it alive. And fantastic defending there. I think it was Friend in the end got the challenge in.
Phillips will take the corner, and the home fans in great voice now, leading Birmingham City yet again, and they have had the opportunity to cross again. It's almost an own goal. It was Grant who whipped the ball in. Pedersen with a back header over his goalkeeper and just over the crossbar.
Sakic can't come for that. You know, that he can't affect that. It's a great ball in from Callum Grant there. Pedersen has to put his head on it because there is bodies behind, but Sakic has committed his game. So if it's a miss header from Pedersen there, that's in the back of the net. Big let off.
Townsend will take the corner. 10.5 minutes to play at the Hawthorns on TalkSport 2. West Brom 1, Birmingham 0. Callum Grant may have scored the match winner for the 2nd successive home game. The corner whipped in by Townsend, headed away by Sanderson. Sunic looking to find Anike on the halfway line, but it's wide towards Townsend again. The cross is flighted in and Sakic will claim off the head of Hugel. Very quickly clears downfield, looking for Chong, headed away by Malumbi. Then Gardner tries to find Anike. Anike's done well to win the ball. Was he fouled? No, he was the one doing the fouling, and it's a free kick to West Brom.
Well, I don't actually know what Anike's done there. You know, I thought He's kept it alive. They both were up and genuinely challenged. He's kept the ball in control. I'm waiting to see it on the monitor. Jeremy Simpson was very quickly to give a foul. I don't know if Aniki's actually had a little push, but again, very soft one.
Well, Birmingham have finished between 17th and 20th in the last 5 seasons in the Championship, and that's the sort of territory they're heading towards once again. This has been a horrid recent run, and they go to Huddersfield next week to try and arrest it. There is still time in this game, but it will also be 8 games without a win against West Bromwich Albion as Malumbi wins it on the edge of the penalty area, drives towards goal right-footed and some way wide.
Well, great reaction from Malumbi as well there. Matty Phillips gets caught on the ball, loses possession, and Malumbi goes, anticipates it, gets the ball back and has a shot from distance, not quite on target but struck it very well.
Sarkic is quick to gather the ball up and spot it for the goal kick. Birmingham trying to quicken things up now, trailing by a goal to nil with 8.5 minutes to play, and there will be another change made by Birmingham soon. It doesn't look as though it is going to be Troy Deeney. Pedersen chasing forward now for Birmingham. On the far side, it's Jordan Graham who will be coming on as Ajayi steps in before Anike to clear the ball away on the far side. Graham, a player who came through the academy at Villa, also spent time at Wolves before moving on to Gillingham, where he's seen most of his first team football so far, and Graham will come on to replace Friend. Roberts is preparing for another long throw for Birmingham on the far side there left. So Birmingham have made their changes. No Troy Deeney this evening.
Yeah, understandable. Well, I think Jukovic he's doing well. He's been keeping it alive. He's very much up to the speed of the game. Jordan Graham will come on, be alive at it. Good service, got a presence as well. So
Roberts will try again with a long throw. The first one was headed away by Barkley straight back to him, so he allowed the ball to drift out. And he will hurl another one here towards the 6-yard area. It's flicked on by Clark. Almost an own goal at the other end. Clark glancing the ball across his own goal, and that wasn't too far wide.
Well, had Sam Johnson scrambling as well there. Great flick, all pace on the ball, and it wasn't far away at all. Chong was at the far end, but like you say, if that's on target there, Sam Johnson isn't stopping that.
Chong will take the corner now for Birmingham into the 6-yard area. Clark rising to head the ball clear. Grant on the edge of the area as far as Bella, who tries to volley left-footed, and his shot is near with the corner flag than the goal.
Well, it's a fantastic corner in there from Chong, I've got to say. Matty Clark, big header, had to be there, right moment, cleared the area, and then obviously Bella, as they took a gamble from distance. No real quality on the effort.
Tom Ross will be gathering post-match reaction to this game, which you'll hear across the TalkSport network during the weekend. 6 minutes to play. West Brom leading by a goal to nil, going back on top of the table as Townsend is fouled on this near side. I thought Townsend was out of play when he headed the ball in field earlier on in that move, but the officials saw nothing, and it's a free kick for West Brom. Ishmael is telling Carlin Grant, the goal scorer, to head towards the penalty area. Townsend again will take it, lofted high to the far post, beyond everybody again. Gardner will chase for Birmingham, but it's kept in play by Malumbi. He may need some support, but he's done well to goad the challenge from Gardner, and it will be a throw in to West Brom.
Well, he's come on, hasn't he? He's got up to speed very, very quickly, Malumbi. You know, I think, again, to keep that one alive, not the best of balls, a lot of pace on it, but He's broke his neck to get there, and like you say, just manages the game. Can't really go anywhere. There's bodies in the box. Can he get the cross in? Doesn't need to. You know, gets it off the man, and obviously Furlong now line the ball off, and it's coming right in on the money.
Furlong again. The ball rather slips out of his hand. The long throw loops to the edge of the area. Grant fires in a shot, and it was flicked on by a Birmingham head and behind for a corner.
Again, it's Karlan Grant at the edge of the box. It's swiveled on that, connected with it well. I thought it came off Bartley at one, but it was a big header there from Aniki. Just had to get something on it. I don't think it would have troubled Sarkic.
West Brom with 67% of possession, 7 shots in the game, 2 on target. Birmingham 10 shots in the game, only 1 on target. They have got problems, and they could deepen here. Townsend with the corner, again swung into the near post, flying out of Sarkic to clear, fired back in by Grant on the edge of the area. It was blocked by Roberts. Now Grant again will stride away from Chong down the left-hand side, delivers a good cross towards the far post, and somehow it is guided wide by Townsend. Well, I think he thought about trying to guide the ball in with his foot, then his head. In the end, it was something of nothing, and he should have scored.
Yeah, it's a fantastic ball from Karlan Grant. I thought Ajay had put him off, but no, he hasn't. I'm looking at it now on the monitor. Never put him off. He wasn't sure if to go with feet. Then he's tried to put it in with the thighs. I think he just lost track of the ball. It's either diving header or you go with the volley there, don't you? It's a fantastic ball from Karlan Grant.
Hugo was also booked for time wasting, kicking the ball away following that. As a free kick has been given now to Birmingham. A heavy challenge by Grant on Chong, and both players are now writhing on the ground in agony.
Yeah, it's just a clash of knees that is very, very painful, Nigel, trust me. I don't think there's no intent there. Both genuinely went for the ball. Knees have came together.
And there will be treatment for both players. So a break in play late in the game. In League One, it is finished. Burton 3, Morecambe 2. So Morecambe had a fine start to the season, but they were 2-1 down very early on in that game. Thomas O'Connor with goals after 6 and 49 minutes. Connor Shaughnessy with the other one after 14. And although Liam Gibson gave Morecambe the lead and Cole Stockton scored right at the end, they fall to another high-scoring defeat. Burton up to 7th in the table. Morecambe are 13th ahead of the weekend games. And they are just beginning to head towards the wrong end of the table, although they are doing pretty well considering the number of players they lost following promotion. Chong is back on his feet. So too is Grant, and it will be a free kick here for Birmingham. And we have 90 seconds of normal time to play on TalkSport 2. West Brom 1, Birmingham 0. And both sets of players, Grant and Chong, just waiting to come back on. Bella takes the free kick again. It is a woeful delivery, low towards the edge of the area. Gives his teammates absolutely no chance of attacking the ball, and it ends up being a throw into West Brom on the far side.
It was a poor free kick. You know, you just want to ask it, beat that first man, ask it in behind. And I've got to say, Matt Phillips there done everything right. Won a free kick, a throw in on the halfway line, and like you say, just managed the game. Right decision. At the minute, the quality from Birmingham has to be better in those moments. It's just a dead ball situation. There's no pressure. You can just clip it in with a bit of quality into the 18-yard box.
Well, having lost at home to Fulham 4-1, Peterborough 3-0, Queen's Park Rangers 2-0, and Nottingham Forest 3-0, with a 0-0 draw against Preston thrown in. This is another dispiriting evening for Birmingham, as Sanderson has to concede the corner on this near side as he's challenged by Grant, and we are into the final 20 seconds of normal time. Adam Reach will be coming on shortly for West Brom. In fact, they may make that change now. And it's Karlan Grant who is coming off. Well, he was on the periphery of the game for so long, but he may have come up with the match-winning moment once again for West Bromwich Albion here at the Hawthorns.
It's good management as well, Nigel. You know, you'll know that's what his player needs, that standing ovation that he got. An important goal.
Corner kick on this near side for West Brom, looking to put this game away. Phillips with the delivery, and the header is a brilliant save by Sarkic. It was nodded towards goal by Bartley. Sarkic was initially going the wrong way, but somehow stuck out the paw to keep it out, and it scrambled behind for another corner.
It's a fantastic save. Like you say, he's going the other way. The reaction to get down and get enough on it, enough purchase on the ball to, you know, it's outstanding. Fingertip save there. It's a great header from Bartley as well. All the pace was on the ball. Just, you would say about the accuracy. It's a fantastic save.
Phillips will try again on this near side. Another in-swinger towards the far post, and Nike heads the ball away. Now Malumbi wide towards Phillips again. Just beneath us here. Phillips looks to attack the penalty area. Beyond Baylor, delivers the cross, blocked by Sanderson. Ajayi still forward, finding Malumbi. He looks to head towards the corner flag, which maybe tells you West Brom's mindset at the moment. Sunic is looking to try and win the ball back, and eventually it's a throw into West Brom.
He's done very well there, Malumbi. Great strength, and you know what? Game management, isn't it? I thought he could have put the cross in. There's bodies in there waiting for it to come in, and he just stops to take it into the corner and waste another 45 seconds, 60 seconds. Job done.
Throw in taken by Townsend. In towards Phillips, back towards Townsend again, and once again he is heading towards the corner flag, tries to win a corner, but in fact finds Phillips. Phillips now stands up Sunic, breaks into the penalty area. Sanderson makes the challenge, Phillips goes down, Sanderson pokes it out, and it will be a throw-in to West Brom again, and they are winding down the clock here.
Yeah, fantastic close control there from Matty Phillips. I think Sanderson does well, recovers, gets in front, forces them back, and then again it's a throw-in the attacking third for West Brom.
And then we'll get another one conceded by Bella, and much of the 4 minutes of added time has been spent deep inside Birmingham territory. Five games without a goal for Birmingham City. That is looming here. Townsend will take the throw-in. A look at the watch from Jeremy Simpson. Hugel. Roberts goes to ground to make the challenge, and it will be another throw-in. And once again, temper's just fraying as Roberts gets back to his feet and tries to put his boot back on. And West Brom edging towards the top of the table here. Phillips again just heads towards the corner flag and then runs it out of play, and it's a throw into Birmingham. And have they got time to get up the field here? Well, Roberts will hurl it long. He's miles away from where the ball went out, but he throws the ball straight out. I don't think the ball came in.
Never came in.
And the only person recovering the ball is Lee Doughty, the fourth official inside the West Brom technical area. And Valerian Ismail is standing there like a schoolmaster, jabbing his finger into his chest. Sarkic clears downfield, but it's been blocked by Hugel, and it spins behind for a goal kick. And that should be that. Valerian Ismail is convinced the full-time whistle is imminent here. Sarkic clears downfield, and that's it. West Bromwich Albion are back on top of the championship. Yet another game without a goal for Birmingham City. Carlin Grant deciding the match late on with a shot from outside the penalty area which caught out Matthias Sarkic at his near post. Once again, West Bromwich Albion failed to impress for long spells, but once again they won. West Bromwich Albion 1, Birmingham City 0.